Everybody, welcome back to A Sweet Journey. I'm Sonia, also known as Sweets, and I wanted to just take a little while today to share some things that for me were just uplifting for this week. And I think like right now, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of different emotions, fear. Some people are angry. Some people are skeptical. I don't know. There's lots of things happening. And for me, I am hopeful. And I have things that have happened in my life over the last week that have helped me to be hopeful for where we're headed and not fearful. I am not, I'm of the mindset that no matter what happens, at the end of the day, we're good. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things that helped me get to this place this week. So I watched the Clark sisters movie and I just thought it was really good. I thought it was good for a lot of different reasons. One, honoring people for great work that they've done and kind of glass ceilings that they broke, I think is honorable and it's admirable. And I think it is worthwhile, if you haven't seen it, to watch it. When I watch movies like that, sometimes I really am very intrigued by the different people in the movie, their different perspectives. And there was a high level of focus on Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. And I think that there are opportunities to see a view from each of the people in the movie, like perspectives. And so I think that that is pretty incredible. And one of the things I think about when I watched the movie, and the thing that I am hopeful about, I was in a ministry for about 25 years, and I understand we weren't at that level as they were in, the movie, because that was another level of a religious experience where you can't wear pants. I don't have that experience, which I'm very grateful for. But I do have some of the experiences of something not necessarily looking like it belongs in the church, And I think that there's a wonderful opportunity for churches to kind of learn from that sometimes it looks a little bit different. It doesn't look the way that we think that it would look like. I think that when they played the Clark sisters' music on the radio, they were accused of being secular pretty much because the music was not, the radio station was not a Christian radio station. And so playing gospel music in that environment was not, it was frowned upon by the church. And I think that there's a learning opportunity in that. And what I'm hopeful about is the idea that God is doing a new thing. And now you see, there were some ministries that frowned upon kind of like social media type of ministries. And now every church has to utilize social media to get their message across. And so I think it's just wonderful learning opportunities to kind of look at ministry different and how can we reach people wherever people are. And so I'm hopeful in that area. And I think it's wonderful to even approach the topic. And so that's one thing I'm hopeful about. The second thing is I listened to this message by Bishop T.D. Jakes last week, and it was called You Can Still Get There. And it was just an incredible message. Like when you think about the worst thing that you could possibly do as a Christian, which would be like denying Christ, that's a big deal. But he taught about how Peter denied Christ, and when Christ was resurrected, he said, go get the disciples and Peter. And then if you follow it forward, you see his life after the denial. And you see, and the thing that makes me hopeful in all of that, just to share with you, the thing that makes me most hopeful is that you can do things that are detrimental to your spiritual life, that you think like, this is it. Like, there's no way God is going to forgive this. And God knows exactly what he's doing. And I think the thing that I live off of and that I'm very grateful for is that he who is promised is faithful. So if you're living your life in a place that you are living out something that you believe was a promise made a long time ago, but it doesn't really look a lot like that promise is happening, then maybe, just maybe, God is doing it in a way that it doesn't look like you thought it would look, but he knew when he provided the promise, he knew all of the things that we would be going through, and he knew all of the decisions that we'd make that were anti, kind of his way. Yet he still decided to call us. And I am hopeful in that. I love God. I love having a relationship with him. And I mostly love to see him doing new things in this time. And I think that is incredible. So I am hopeful in that space. So Bishop T.D. Jakes has helped me in that. The third thing that helps me in being hopeful, I was in my church service. I attend Denver United, and I'm in Colorado, as you all know. And so I attend this church called Denver United, and the pastor from the church, one of the pastors on Sunday, taught a message that was, I think it was titled, "What is Your Name?" And the thing that has me hopeful from that message is that he talked about Jacob. And for those of you who are believers, you know Jacob was a trickster, and he was deceiving. And he was a twin who grabbed his other brother's leg in the womb, like during childbirth, just just trickster from the womb. And Jacob is, I think, supplanter or trickster, or anyway. So he talks about him and Esau selling his birthright for food. It was ridiculous. But then it also talks about the deception that came about when it was actually time for his father to give a blessing. The blessing, of course, the greater blessing is supposed to go to the older brother. Then he and his mom worked together to just kind of trick their dad. So all of the shenanigans of that. And his dad asked him, pretty much, "Who are you? What is your name?" And he said, "My name is Esau," which was his twin brother, not him. And what the pastor talked about was when Jacob was face to face with God, and when he was wrestling with God, God too said, "What is your name?" And he said, "My name is Jacob." And the power in that, and the thing that has me hopeful is coming to grips that for him to be able to say, "I am Jacob," is his confession. I am the trickster. I am the supplanter. That's who I am. That's me. I'm not going to lie and tell you anything that. This is who I am. And the audacity to be able to stand before God and say, "This is who I am," allows God the opportunity to shift us to say, "Okay, no, this is actually who you are, Israel. You're not a trickster. No, you are Israel. And out of you are many nations." And that left me hopeful. It left me hopeful in the idea that I can come exactly as I am to God, and I can come kind of boldly to this throne, and I can receive grace, and I can be whoever God has called me to be, and I can admit my wrong and allow God to kind of give me the identity of how he sees me. And it was incredible. I was so inspired. That touched my heart, and it really, really helped me in this kind of dark time where we're trying. It doesn't look dark because I know it's beautiful outside and all that, but we are still quarantined. Still, if we go out, we are still wearing masks. People are still unable to really kind of make eye contact because we are there's this underlining fear that's happening right now. But in all of that, I have these things that are providing me hope. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this moment of just acknowledging things that bring hope. If you like it, you can thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.